This is 70,000 tons of metal, the original but world's biggest heavy metal cruise. 60 bands, 4 days, 1 cruise ship, only 3,000 tickets. It's like having an all-access backstage pass. January 29th to February 2nd, 2026. From Miami, Florida to Nassau, the Bahamas, and back. Go to 70,000tons.com and book now.
So let's, have you been on this before?
On what?
70K?
No. It's our first cruise and actually our first overseas show. So it's the first time we're playing outside Europe.
Really?
Yeah.
How's it been, what's your experience been like?
To be honest, like the expectations, they just overcome all the reality. Like otherwise. Okay. Basically, it's just amazing. I mean, the best thing is that you play twice and people can actually check you out.
Right.
And the networking is just insane here between bands and fans and people from the industry. And I think like it's the perfect number of days that we're staying here,
yes.
so that you have time to do pretty much everything, and
yes.
it's just amazing.
And fan interactions have been great?
Yes, absolutely. We had such a nice meet and greet, and it lasted for more than an hour. And people were so happy to see us because there are a lot of people listening to us in the US and they've never seen us live because
Sure.
they couldn't come to Europe. So it's it's been amazing. Yeah.
What band has been your favorite so far on the trip? I know they're all great, but if you had to pick one that was
To be honest, like it's so hard to actually go to the shows because sometimes you are just walking to the shows and you pop into people and you in the end you don't make it to the show.
Right.
So there were definitely some bands that I would love to have seen, but I just couldn't.
Yeah.
I just couldn't go there. But I'm going to check Elevati tonight
I saw them
because I
last night.
still haven't seen them live. Although we even had a talk with the vocalist today, but I still haven't seen them live.
Powerful.
Yeah. So it's amazing, and I really enjoyed the All-Star Jam. Although I had really low expectations for that, but it's been so much fun, and a lot of people visited it. It's so unique when you think of it. It's just insane.
I agree. So this is a number 11 for me on this cruise.
Oh, really? So you're a local?
I'm not a local. I'm about a couple of, but yes. I've been
a
doing this
local of the cruise. Yeah,
yes, I've been doing it forever, and I do interviews, 2 days of everyone. But I love it because I find bands that I've never heard of or that will never, like you guys. I won't say never, but the chances of U.S. shows, especially in our climate now, is probably not possible.
Yes,
so
that's true.
it's pretty cool to be able to, go see you guys or go see. I just saw Groza this afternoon.
Yeah.
Really great black metal that I'll never see anywhere else. And that's what I love about this thing the most. So, Ignea, you working on new stuff?
Yeah, actually we're like on the final line of our new album right now, and I mean, considering that we are living in Ukraine and we've had some extreme power outages with low temperatures, and you can only imagine how we are recording the album, like our equipment, it cannot work in -20, so
Right.
that's a huge problem, but we're going back and we're finalizing the album, and we have to film like 4 different videos. So we're concentrating and focusing on that, and the album should be out in autumn, and the first single is coming out in May. So yeah, keep your eyes open. I hope that everything works out, that we still make it, and so we really hope that everything works out. We'll be able to have a tour in Europe for this album, and maybe next year finally make it to the US with a proper tour, because it's about time,
Right. So writing your records, I'm sure your background, the way you're from, that's seeping into all of your lyrics. How is there like a message or something you want your fans to take away from after listening to?
To be honest, with us, it's never been like direct. We've never been direct with what's happening, meaning we're not trying to put our experience and the things we're living in.
But inevitably, that has to be in there, right?
We really don't do it because we're trying to openly talk about it on social media, in interviews and everything. But we just cannot romanticize what's happening because it's like it's the biggest horror that you can imagine. And I mean, every night you have an attack, and then you have like a building crashing right in front of your building with like people buried under rubbles. Then you have some friends dead on the front line and everything. You don't really put this into music, and actually I know only a few artists who are basically putting their experience in there. So it's never been like this. What I can say is that we have a few songs that have been written ages ago, and if you read the lyrics, they're basically reflecting what we are going through, although those were just our imagination. But now we feel that it's like a prophecy that we didn't want to make, you know? Yeah, so we have, for example, a song, Megura's Last Kiss, and it's about a Ukrainian Valkyrie that is basically fed up with wars, and she is just, you know, she's just deciding she's not doing it anymore, you know, but...
I remember talking to him, we said it was 4 years ago, but I remember talking to you and you said you guys were like recording and hearing the bombs and everything.
Yes.
That's still really reality, huh?
It's still pretty much the same. I had to, like... Just a few weeks ago, I was finalizing the vocals recording at our studio in Kiev. And I mean, when you record vocals, you stay in a soundproof booth with like your headphones and everything. Basically, my friend of mine, he was just calling me and saying, actually, like there are drones flying over your head, you know, and I couldn't hear it because I've been in my headphones and everything. And last minute I could, you know, run to the shelter. And I was lucky, like it didn't hit anything around me, but I mean, this is the reality we are recording in. And it's, again, I would never think that it would last so long and that it's gonna be the second album that we would be recording like during the full-scale war. And the thing is, every day we think it cannot get worse, right? But it does. It's still getting worse and worse and worse and worse. And I would never think, like even with the first blackouts that we had in 2022, that we would be like, people would be freezing in their homes because of these attacks. It's just, it's incomprehensible. I mean, we're living in a European capital, like with European values, and we are civilized people, and they're just, you know, they're just trying to kill us pretty much every day.
So I'm gonna get back to Ignea for a second, but can I stay there just for 1 second?
Yeah.
What does that do to your psyche and your...
Oh, that's a complicated question, but you know, what we can say is that we adapt to so many things because otherwise we would just go nuts, you know, and there are still Ukrainian businesses operating because we need to, you know, we need to earn money to live, and that's why everything is working out. Like in Kiev, the life just goes on. The problem is, I think that we've gotten so much older, all of us. And of course, like if you don't have proper sleep for 4 years, you don't look good. Whatever you do, you are exhausted all the time. And of course, you still live your life and everything. But, you know, it's so funny when we now look at the books that say, I don't know, adjust your sleep rhythm or whatever. We don't have it.
No such thing, right?
We don't have it. We cannot live like a healthy lifestyle because it's constant pressure. And of course, we also have all of us have a certain level of PTSD. So like all the noise, like if it's like out of nowhere, we're like jumping like this, even though I haven't been to the front line. You gotta understand. I'm just a person living, you know, in Kiev. So to those who are closer to the front line, it's even worse. So it's just insane. But I mean, we're now on the cruise. We're enjoying the cruise in its most. I mean, of course, we talk to people, ask us, and we feel a lot of support here. People are coming to us and they say that they support Ukraine. We had like a fan coming to us at the meet and greet, and she purchased a bracelet. She's from Finland. She purchased the bracelet from a Ukrainian soldier, and now she's giving it back to us. I mean, so we feel a lot of support. And we don't take it for granted, but the problem is like it's been for 4 years. And for example, sometimes I still have to explain to people that for us to be here, we cannot just take a plane and fly like we had it before, because the airplanes are not flying because of the missiles and drones. And it's been like this for 4 years. So even for us as a band to go to a small festival in Europe, we have to travel 2 days one way because we cannot fly there. Before we could just take a plane
Like a
from
normal-
Kyiv.
right.
Yeah. So and everything is so much more complicated for us as artists. So that's why we appreciate it 70,000 tons more than everyone
And
else.
metalheads, I think this community is always supportive anywhere you write.
Yes, absolutely. And I remember that when we had our first power outages, I mean, we have a Patreon community and it's been out there for 8 years. And they just organized themselves and they bought us some small power stations for our home, and now we're using it every day. So when we have blackouts for several days, we can charge our phones, we can have like the internet, and the hands have helped us. And of course, they buy our merch. Like, we always give certain percentage of our merch sales to the donations,
Right.
So
Sure.
it's always, we are not only artists, we are also like, as they call it, cultural ambassadors and diplomats, because like whenever we are out there, we talk to each other,
Sure.
to other bands, to media, because sometimes we cannot just post it online because social media block.
And the news we get too is filtered.
Yeah,
Heavily
we know
filtered.
that. We know that because we also go on tour, and of course we see what's happening, and
And I'm sure it's the other way around, right? Our news is filtered.
yes, but I gotta say, I think that now we do try to follow everything that's happened. We follow what's happening in Iran. We follow
Right.
what's happening in the U.S. also because we feel that Ukraine is really dependent on the U.S. because because your government influences all the negotiations,
Yep.
and we also, of course, we get a certain support in terms of weapons and everything. So of course we closely follow everything that is happening here.
Right.
And for example, our session guitarist, right, on this cruise, he's living in Denmark, but he's from Greenland. So of course,
Oh, Jesus.
yeah. So we're like,
Anyway,
Anyway,
Ignea.
yeah.
New record, you said it's out. Do you think about, or did you think about differentiating or not writing the same record as the previous one? Does that make sense? So you want to be Ignea, but you don't want to rewrite the same record. So is that a natural thing, or is that something that you thought about?
I think it's a natural thing because usually for us, how it works, our keyboardist, he usually comes up with some demos, just melodies and everything. Usually then I listen to the melodies and I try to understand what can be the story behind, because we tend to write stories and concepts and everything. And once I have the concept and he also dives into all of this, we complete the record. So I also write some melodies and I do the lyrics and everything. So I would say that, of course, like they say, we have the Ignea sound and we have he's playing the guitar and we have synthesizers in pretty much every album. We have symphonic stuff in pretty much every album. But it's different because the theme of the album is different, and this one is going to be probably the biggest difference from what we had before because of the theme.
Right. So do you go into the record with a theme in mind, or does that just sort of kind of appear?
So usually the first demos and melodies don't have the theme because it's just everything in his mind. But then we shape them around the concept that usually I can come up with. So this is how we're basically creating. The two of us are creating together, and this is how it is.
So are you writing like short story kind of stuff, and then?
Not really the short story, because like for this album, it's just the particular theme. Like it's not even the concept, it's like a feeling and also like a direction. And I usually dig a lot, I read a lot of books on a certain subject. The previous album was about the Ukrainian travel writer and photographer, so I read her travelogues and I learned everything I could about her.
Right.
So this was the way of addressing this issue. With this concept, it's a bit different because there is a lot about the atmosphere and about the aesthetics on this certain topic. So it's been a huge research, and some friends of mine, they love that. I don't have like the complete higher education, but they say with every album you're writing a diploma, because
You're fully immersed in
you
it.
research so much. Basically I'm covered with the books. I go to the libraries, I go to the galleries. With this album I also explored a lot of architecture because there is like a certain theme that is so yeah.
Nice. What does when you're writing, are you writing with like this stage in mind, like how it's going to come across on stage, or are you writing a song just for the song's sake?
Oh yeah, with this particular album, it's so easy to think of what is gonna happen on stage, and to be honest, like we really wanna emphasize what's happening on stage with all the props and everything. Is just we never had a chance to properly do it because of the COVID, then because of the war, because every time we need to go and play, up until the very last moment, we never know if we can make it. So that's why we can't really, bring it out there. So hopefully with the next album, we will be able to do it. And yeah, we have already certain clothes in the making and certain looks. We actually are transitioning, like we purchased a new guitar, a new keytar in another color because it's more suitable, for stage.
Right.
So we're trying to visually make it as aligned with this theme of the album as possible.
So if you had no budget and you didn't have to worry about all this stuff, this could be a pretty big thematic thing, right?
Yes. And if we didn't have a budget, I would gladly, especially for this album, I would gladly have the chance to film videos not only in Ukraine but across the world, because again, there is a certain like architectural direction, and I would gladly go to these certain places, and film there. But it's of course.
But even like you said with the travel writer, that would have been really cool.
Yes,
too, right?
and to be honest, like even if it wasn't for the war, we had certain places in Ukraine where we wanted to go, because we have, let's say, like this writer, she traveled to the Sahara Desert, which we wouldn't do because filming in Sahara Desert, you can only imagine it would be like
a little difficult.
Super hot, yeah, let's say. But we had a very small piece in Ukraine that looked like Sahara Desert, but now it's occupied, and it's been occupied at the moment we were recording the album. So our initial plan was to go there and film there, but we couldn't. So we basically had to film everything in Kiev, and we only traveled to the Carpathian Mountains, and that's all we could do. Yeah.
So is this because of the situation, and is this very much a DIY sort of thing at the moment?
It's no, we have now a production team also living in Kiev, and we're working with them actually on a constant basis, not only for the videos but also for some social media content, because I'm also rolling out my show on YouTube. It's called Hell Show, and we're trying to make it bigger in terms of content, because I feel that when you don't really have new songs or tours, you still have to be out there.
Especially nowadays.
Yes, and we have a lot to talk about. Like, we love doing this stuff. So yeah, we have a production team, we have a label, we have a booking agency. So I don't think we can call it DIY, but...
But you're still pretty hands-on.
Yeah, but I love it. I do DIY what I love and what I'm good at, but if I'm not, then of course I hire people who are talented in their skills,
What kind of, is there a touring plan, or is that not a thing?
Actually, at this point, we have 0 shows, and it's sometimes like, I think it's the second time in our career, and I'm freaking out a little bit, but it's because intentionally we decided to play the cruise and then just have a pause until the new album rolls out. So that's why right now our agency is trying to come up with a suitable European tour, but it's gonna be in autumn. Because like the album is gonna be out in autumn.
So no summer festivals?
No summer festivals, because also we had a great opportunity to play big festivals like Wacken and Summer Breeze and Bloodstock in 2024 with the previous album. So basically we just want to focus, and also we realize that we have certain deadlines, and with all the conditions we're in, going to festivals when we have to add each time 4 days to travel to them is just it decreases our time until the deadline. So that's why we will just, it's an intentional way just to take this pause with tours to be back with the new album on stages, like on festivals and tours.
Okay. That is pretty much what I had, but can you give me those? You dropped some sites in there. Your site, your YouTube, and your Patreon.
Yeah, so we have a YouTube of our band, you can just Google Ignea in YouTube, and we have like music videos, but also some vlogs and behind the scenes. And I have my own show that is called Hell Show, and it's mostly about the beauty of the dark and the dark aesthetics, and also the metal community, because I'm the metal vocalist. And yeah, today on the cruise, I've taken a couple of interviews, and they will be out there pretty soon. So yeah, awesome. And we have a Patreon. Yes.
Awesome.
So
Get
would be nice if you check it out. Yeah.
Perfect.
LifeLock, how can I help?
The IRS said I filed my return,
but I haven't.
1 in 4 tax-paying Americans has paid the price of identity fraud.
What do I do?
My refund, though.
I'm freaking out.
Don't worry, I can fix this.
LifeLock fixes identity theft guaranteed and gets your money back with up to $3 million in coverage.
I'm so relieved.
No problem. I'll be with you every step of the way.
1 in 4 was a fraud-paying American. Not anymore. Save up to 40% your first year. Visit LifeLock.com/podcast. Terms apply.